If you've ever been in this situation before where you ask ChatGPT, hey, can you write me a killer Facebook ad? And then it kind of sounds, that really late night shonky TV infomercial, something like this. Are you tired that your man was in question because you're not able to get it up? Oh, geez, okay. Do not do that. Okay, so you know what I mean. Whenever you put a prompt into ChatGPT, sometimes it sounds like really salesy or just not like you at all. And I've got a feeling that you're on this video right now because you went to YouTube to figure out how you can use ChatGPT to write a good Facebook ad, but all the answers are, pretty generic, pretty bland, and just really salesy. And to be frank, I felt the complete same way when I wanted to try and use this for myself, for my clients, and I was really fed up. And then that's when I went down the ChatGPT rabbit hole to figure out how do you actually use it and craft the right prompts so you can create a good Facebook ad 60, 70% of the way there on a solid first draft. So with a lot of fine tuning, a lot of hours, a lot of dud prompts, I've really figured out that it has to come down to the quality of your prompts and actually thinking like a marketer. And I know this sounds completely obvious, the prompts count, but yeah, they do. But there's also a bit of a spin to it as well. You have to think like a marketer. You have to know the pain points and the problems and the right questions to ask ahead of time, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to get paid the big bucks. It's not who can use ChatGPT. It's like who can use ChatGPT in the context of their customer to solve problems. So does that make sense? Like, it's your thoughts that your clients are paying you for, not your mechanical ability to go press some buttons. And if you can solve big problems, then you can get paid the big bucks. And if you like getting paid the big bucks, just like me, consider giving these a thumbs up, All right, so before I get into the video, who am I? Why should you listen to me? What is up? Hey, my name is Jules Dan. I'm a freelance list master, copywriter, rainmaker. I basically go into my clients' emails, their lists, their funnels, and just find a bunch of holes in their marketing, fix it up, and make it rain. Which is why on this channel, we talk about how you can get more customers and make more per customer and keep them coming back with the power of the pen. So if you're a creator, business owner, entrepreneur, maybe you're too busy with fulfillment, you find yourself as a bottleneck, and the thought of even looking at your list or your funnels to optimize it, to figure out where the money leaks, basically, you're definitely in the right place. So over the last 3 years, I've really worked my way up from the bottom and then just solved client problems, and I have amassed over $15 million in client results, and I pretty much bring those solutions back to you on this channel. And solving the problem of ChatGPT Facebook ads that are crap, I'm gonna fix for you today. So here's the too long didn't read backstory of how I figured this all out. So one of my clients, they run Facebook ad workshops and I run the critiques of them. And I kept getting the same type of ads. They were just really bland, really boring. Even though I've done the principal training with them, the actual execution of the ads was not good. And I knew at this pace, if I kept going, tiny feedback, come back 2 weeks later, I was gonna run out of business and customers and they were gonna be pissed off, and I had to fix this pretty quick. So I thought to myself, if I can get them to at least 70% of the way there with the first draft and coach them the rest of the way there, then they've got a much better chance than putting whipped cream on garbage. It's just not gonna work. So the good news for you, if you wanna stick around and learn how to start from absolute scratch because you got no idea what to write, you're in for a treat because we're gonna do that. Now, instead of me like every other video where they take you to the computer and it's like really slow and it's like do this, and you just want to fall asleep and stuff. So I'm actually gonna make things really, really interesting by telling the story, showing the prompts on screen so then you can sort of follow along with me. Right, so the first prompt that I wanna give you is all about the research, and what I was finding from these Facebook workshop critique people was that they would give me their pain points and frustrations of their clients, but it'd be like marketing or not enough clients, just like 2 to 3 words. I'm thinking, this would normally take me weeks or hours to figure out from clients what are their biggest frustrations. So here's what I did to fix that problem. I know absolutely nothing about financial advisors, and I went to ChatGPT and I said verbatim, can you give me the top 10 daily frustrations that financial advisory firms run into? Sure enough, gives me a list of 10, like that's pretty good, but I wanna find the most pressing and most annoying, because I just want to run with what has the best likelihood of working. So this is the part where I'm saying you have to think like a marketer. So a great marketer will be like, I want to be efficient with my time. What is the most annoying pain point out of all these problems? And sure enough, it gives you this fluffy response, but then you say, you read through the fluff and you're like, oh, okay, so compliance is a big issue and paperwork's a big issue. Let's get into this deeper. So this is the part where it gets very juicy and very interesting, super quick, because this is how I've basically condensed hours and hours of research into a single prompt. I'm not exaggerating. And this is where you ask ChatGPT verbatim, can you write me a story using this pain point and make it relatable to financial advisory firms? Follow the AIDA writing structure. And sure enough, it's gonna give you a fictitious story where it's listing out all the pain points, stuff I've never even thought about before. This is just incredibly powerful. In this first paragraph alone, I'm already seeing 4 or 5 different hooks that you can use as different pattern interrupts or different angles for your ads. We haven't even explored the other 9 daily frustrations and occurrences. We've just explored the one and just seen what that's like in the typical day. If your mind is blown, give me a thumbs up, because the first time I saw this, I was like, this has just saved me so much time. I know you're probably wondering, especially if you came from my last video, how do you actually write it so that the tonality doesn't come off as some shonky used car salesperson? Because that does happen a lot. And this is step 2. You have to nail the tonality. And nailing the tonality was the part that gave me so much despair. It was just a nightmare to get right. I remember going through my email inbox like a hawk, trying to find its prey, trying to find the right prompts, going to different Facebook group videos, going to YouTube videos. It wasn't until I found one that just worked. So to match the right tonality right from the get-go, this is what you need to do after you've done your research. Simply type into the chat, analyze the following text for style and tone of voice. Apply that exact style and tone of voice to all your future responses. From there, you would then copy and paste, say, an ad you really like with some tonality you like. For me, I swiped a lot of ad copy from this guy called Sabri Subi. He was selling a book. It was very conversational, very personal. And from here, ChatGPT is going to tell you what that conversation style is like. So for example, it might say that the text is confident, persuasive with a hint of humor. The style is informal. It uses colloquial language and making references to popular culture. In this regard, we're sort of reverse engineering the prompt, because it's telling us what we've given it, and then it's like, okay, so we want copy like this, talk like what you've just told me about. In addition, and this is the part that just like drills at home, because I know tonality just seems to just fly off the wagon sometimes with ChatGPT. Here's a prompt I love saying. In future responses, also occasionally, once every 3 sentences, apply the writing style of, and then you would insert whoever you want, whether it's like Jane Austen, or is it Gary Halbert, who I'm using, Ernest Hemingway, whoever you want, you just put where, apply the style of, and you pop in the person's name. Personally, I really think Gary Halbert is a very universal tonality that's super good for ads, because he's just a natural storyteller. It's conversational. It gets the reader engaged. It doesn't have an agenda of any kind. Like, it's good. Now, with all due fairness and where credit is due, I actually got this prompt from the AI Advantage YouTube channel. I think I'll leave it down below, because I wouldn't be able to create this video if I didn't have that piece of information. After I made this video, I went full deep into ChatGPT, and I pretty much created the cheat code for coming out with a really good campaign, all the way from ad to a booked call. I call it the 4-hour GPT cash campaign. If you're looking for more details on how to master ChatGPT, specifically if you're a marketer and you're trying to use emails, ads, that sort of thing, make sure you check out the link in the description below. It's a free mini course I've created, drips out over 4 days, super powerful stuff, and you're going to see some really nice case studies on the back end of that too. But for now, enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, so we've done the hard yards, we've done the research, we've told the tonality, now we can actually ask it to write an ad for us. But ChatGPT is like a really mischievous child, a pet, who's, maybe done a shit on the couch, and you're gonna be like, dude, what are you doing? I thought we had this conversation before. So you gotta remember, it's gonna go off on a tangent. You have to bring it back and remind it, didn't we agree that you're gonna talk in Gary Halbert voice? So you gotta whack it over the head with the newspaper and get it to talk the right way. Now, the prompt to actually write the ad, this is something that I've used and I'm still experimenting with, but at least it gets you a nice template to get going. Write me a Facebook ad to your avatar, who want to, and then end desired location, make the tone of voice, and then you would copy and paste the tone of voice that ChatGPT has analyzed for you, pop it in there. You should model the writing style of the person we've just mentioned. I like Gary Halbert. And this last part is just the way I like to market. You should also not make big, bold claims, but instead use curiosity to drive the click. Now, it's going to give you something, and it won't even sound like the tonality you just set. So this is where you got to hit it over the head, and you're going to be like, what happened to writing in the style of Gary Halbert? And it'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Let me actually write like Gary Halbert, like I said I would. Yeah, you better have. And it's going to give you a chunk of copy, and it's not going to be correct. So you have to tell it exactly what it did wrong. You're going to tell it how it needs to tease the reader, and then you need to tell it what to include instead. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because ChatGPT's version of excitement and curiosity is the same version as your high school teacher being like, if you're good, I'll give you a surprise at the end of the day. Yeah. It's just not good. It's terrible, actually. Now, from here, if I was to tell you that it's going to write you some perfect ad from start to finish, it's not true. What you're going to have to do next is then give it a few more prompts and take chunks that you like and rearrange it into something that's going to be, actually good. So another way that you could get more chunks that you actually like is this prompt. Expand this, keep building the curiosity. Use a fictitious story where you intertwine the daily frustrations that occur to and then you talk about your avatar. Maybe you want a chunk in there that uses a metaphor to explain a concept so that people can understand it if it's something that, a problem they don't really know about. So here's how we get ChatGPT to use a metaphor. Okay, I'm liking the body copy in the story part. I don't like, and you spell out what you don't like. I want you to give them a hint by giving them a breadcrumb in the form of a metaphor. And then you're gonna get some metaphors, and if it's not good, ask for another version, ask for 5 versions, ask it for a version that doesn't include what they've just told you about. And from there, you're gonna get different chunks. And from here, you can build stuff up. Now, a quick before and after, I'm gonna do some B-roll magic on the screen. This was an original ad submission that I got from one of the clients and a few different prompts, taking some chunks, building it together, and then, polishing it with my own copy skills. This is the final result that we got, and it looks so much better. It's given us something that now we can at least go test. It's taken me maybe an hour or so to get together. And we've only just explored one different daily frustration about the market, and there's heaps of different angles that I showed you in the first part of the research phase. So yep, you can thank me later. Right, so if you enjoyed this prompt video and you want to see other ways you can use creative prompts to write 60, 70% of your baseline script, Facebook post, email, how do you actually do that? Make sure you check out this video here. I'm gonna give you 5 different ChatGPT prompts so you can write these really, really quickly. Obviously, you're gonna have to vet them yourself, but if you did enjoy this video, make sure you give this video the thumbs up. Share it with someone else as well. Like if you found this super cool, I really appreciate that. My name is Jules Dan. Thank you for watching.